welcome to the channel. It's me, Kelsey. I am so glad you are here. Today we are doing a recommendation video. One of my friends and me have been like fervently texting back and forth because this last like 6-8 weeks, I have been reading a ton of why choose books. And if you don't know what why choose is, it's like, why choose when you have like more than one man? Why pick? And so she recommended that I like do a recommendation video for the channel, sharing some of my favorites that I've read in the last month or read over time, and share why I love them, what they are, help people see new authors, all of that. So I've picked 5 of kind of ones that I've read recently or ones that I really like, and I'm gonna share them with you today. And I'm super excited because this is actually one of my favorite tropes. I love the why choose trope. I think it's because I like getting a lot of perspectives in the story. I like hearing from more than just 1 or 2 people. I like that usually in a why choose book, you get at least 3 or more perspectives from what's happening. So you get a wide range of the story and you get to see the story unfolding really, really well. So I think that's one of the reasons that I love this particular trope. So let me take a sip of my coffee, because your girl needs to be caffeinated, and let's get into it. I have 3 actual books with me, and then I'm gonna throw a couple Kindle ones up. But this is Faking It with Benefits by Lily Gold. Lily Gold only writes why choose books, and I own all of her books. I love Lily Gold. They're rom-com-y, they're cute, they're fluffy, they're super fun, but this one is my favorite of hers so far. It follows, let me double check. Yeah, Zach, Luke, and Josh, and Lila. So Lila is the main girl in this book, and Zach, Luke, and Josh are her neighbors. And Lila cannot get a second date to save her life. Like, she doesn't understand why nobody wants to go on a second date with her. She doesn't understand, like, what the heck is wrong with her. And her neighbors, they run a really successful dating podcast. And so they come up with this scheme that they're gonna take her each individually on a date and help her figure out why she can't land that second date. And oops, they kind of all fall in love with her, and they kind of all like find her super attractive, find her super cute, and she kind of falls in love with all of them. And it's super cute, it's super rom-com-y, it's super fun, it's super spicy. All of these books are super spicy. We're not gonna like deny that they are super, 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 super spicy. We're not talking like this may have a cute fluffy cover, but girl, it is spicy. All of these books are. And Lily Gold writes really good spice, and it's really fun, and it's super flirty, and I love a good flirty book. And you get all of their perspectives in the book. Again, that's something that I really enjoy about why choose books, is they all are kind of thick. They're all kind of thick because you get the story from everybody's perspective. You get to see everybody falling in love. And this one was super fun to read. The next one that I want to share is share. If you've been around my channel for a minute, you know that The Losers is a God tier book for me. I absolutely love The Losers books by Harley LaRue. It's actually a duet. I just pulled the first one off my shelf. It's 2 books. It follows Jessica. She's the main girl character in this book. And then you've got Manson, Vincent, Lucas, and Jason as your guys. And the boys were kind of losers in high school, and Jessica was the head cheerleader, and she was kind of prissy and all dating the star quarterback, and everything was like, she had this perfect life. But then she kind of realized when she went off to college and she kind of grew up a little bit, that she was like, her life was not what she wanted it to be. And the boys themselves are very like, they know what they want. They know who they are. They are very much content in who they are. And they have just this intense friendships, relationships. They are in love with each other, and they're in what I like to call a love puddle. And Jessica comes back several years later, and through some circumstances that I don't want to spoil, she ends up making a deal with the guys to fix her car and becomes part of their love puddle. And holy crap, this book is steamy. This book is hot. This book is passionate. You get to see fire. You get to see ice. You get to see character development. You get to see Jessica come out of her shell. You get to see each of the boys come out of their shell. You get to see love on display in a way that I don't think a book has ever really shown me love on display. This is one of the reasons it's a God tier book, is because this book really showed me and helped me. I wouldn't say that I didn't understand love before this book, because I did, but this book really, like, love is something that is on display in this book in a way that it's got friendship love, it's got platonic love, it's got love in a romantic sense, it's got love in a self-love sense, it's got love in a way that, like, how do you love in a world where love is so tainted? Like, it explores the idea of love in every single sense, this duet does. The second one is right here. I have it right here, and it looks like this. And it is a very character-based book. All of these are really character-based, but this one in particular is very, very character-based. You're exploring all of the characters along the way. And holy Batman, you are going to go on a roller coaster ride with these characters, and you're going to explore some of the hottest, spiciest scenes that you're ever going to read in a book. And these two books, they're God tier. Like, I have to read them every single year, because ever since I've read them, I read them for the first time 3 years ago, and I've probably read them at least 4 times since then. And I keep them, like, live on my Audible for, like, when I'm just, like, I need, like, spice, or I just need something to, like, pick me up. They're, like, pick-me-up books. Sometimes I'll just go listen to certain parts of them. Like, I'm telling you, you need these books in your life. They are dark. Check your trigger warnings. There are dark things that happen in these books. There's a little bit of, it's BDSM. It's very BDSM heavy. There's abuse in these books. Some of it happens off the abuse happens off the page. But there is abuse that happens to the characters in this books. It is heavy. It can get heavy. So check your trigger warnings. But these books, God tier books for me. You need to read these books, please, people. Then the other one that I actually have as a book, like physical book with me here, is Pucking Around. And it's another lighthearted one. We went from, like, dark and heavy to lighthearted. It's a hockey romance. It follows Rachel, Caleb, Jake, and Amari. And they are all on the Jacksonville Rays hockey team. And they are all falling in love with each other and exploring their sexuality and figuring out life as they go. And it is so fun and so flirty and so exciting. But here's the thing about it, is they're all trying to figure out what polyamory relationships look like, and what does it mean to be in a polyamory relationship, and what does it mean to have feelings for each other? What does it mean to be in a relationship where feelings with each other grow? What does it mean to have feelings for one person in a polyamory relationship but have platonic feelings for someone else in a polyamory relationship? I loved it. It is a chunky monkey book. Chunky monkey book, but I could not put it down. It was so fun. I'm not a huge hockey romance girl. Like, I usually do not like hockey romances. I know, internet, like, hockey romances are a thing, but this one is in a series, and I'm already eating the rest of the series up. Emily Rath is just such a fantastic writer. She made it fun. It's spicy as all get out. Oh my gosh, is it so spicy. The character development of all of the characters in this book is so fun. You get to see little glimpses of the team, which leads into other characters that are in the series. It is such a fun Why Choose book, and how they are navigating everything is it feels so real. It feels so honest. It feels so exciting. It is so good. And I gave this book a 5-star. I haven't given anything outside of a series a 5-star a long time, and I gave this book a 5-star. So that's saying something. The next one that I read that is so good is The Perfect Fit, and I read it on Kindle. I actually listened to it, and I think that's why it was so perfect. It's because the narrators in this book just were, like, panty dropping good. I don't know if I should say that on the internet, but it's already said. But Perfect Fit by Sadie Kincaid. This follows the 3 boys in this book. They are Xander, Zane, and West. and they own a conglomerate company, and they kind of are just looking for a girl to fit into their dynamic. They are looking for that missing piece, that missing fit in their relationship, and they know that that's a woman in their relationship. And they've been trying out other women on a trial basis, and it hasn't fit. And then one day Lily comes along, and she meets them all on kind of in different circumstances, and Lily is the perfect fit. And it's their relationship navigating how Lily fits into their relationship, and how Lily is part of their relationship, and how Lily just kind of envelops herself into that. And it is so hot. I cannot explain to you. I was texting my best friend like on fire about how hot this book was. And again, I think it was partially the narrators in this book. So this is when you want to listen to in your ear holes, because holy moly, Batman, this book was on fire hot. And I could not stop this book. It was like a train down the tracks at full speed, hot fire, loving it. So good. So good. And the spice, that was the spice. And it's very, 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 very spicy. Very, 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 very spicy. And it's got a little bit of a mafia twist to it. It's just so fun, and it's good. And Sadie Kincaid's writing, just, you felt all the feels. One of the characters, he's just so moody and broody, and he's, I love me a good moody, broody man in a book. So that was really fun. And then kind of the last one that's on my list for this recommendation is Give Me More by Sarah Kate. And this is only a throuple. And I'm throwing this on here because some people are like, thruples don't count as why choose. I do count thruples as why choose because you're choosing between two, right? And this book was so good when I read it. I've said that about every single book on this list. I know. You're probably like, Kelsey, why do you keep saying that? Grow your vocabulary. But this one was my favorite so far in the Salacious Players Club books that I've read. And if you've paid attention on my channel or you've looked back, you know I'm reading all the Salacious Players Clubs. This is my favorite in the Salacious Players Club. It's two best friends. They've been best friends forever. He is married his high school sweetheart, and the other one was his best man in his wedding. They've been best friends for ever and ever and ever. And they go on this road trip together, and on this road trip he realizes that everybody has a kink. That's part of being in Salacious Players Club, is that they've discovered that everybody has kinks and everybody has things, and he wants to see his wife with his best friend. And so he asks them, and they're like, what the hell, Hunter? What the actual hell? And it kind of plays out from there, and they realize that they all love each other, and they realize that it's just spicy, it's just heartfelt, it's just good, and it just plays out in a way where you're like, oh my gosh. And it's my favorite one in the Salacious Players Club so far. And I do think that it counts as a why choose, because she's choosing between two. Where, why do I have to have one when I can have both? So I think it counts as a why choose. Some people, like I said, they don't count thruples, or they don't count threesomes. Thruples or threesomes. They don't count them as why choose. I think that that's ridiculous. Personal opinion. It's still choosing. So that is my recommendation list. I'm just double checking that I didn't forget anything. I didn't forget anything. That's my recommendation, my fives for this recommendation. If you want to see me do recommendations on other things, like other tropes, other ideas, you have ideas for videos, leave them in the recommendations below. I'm looking for ideas for videos, and I want to hear from you. So that being said, until next time, friends, bye-bye.